This is Gary Atencio with CNTV, and today we're in Florida. I am here with Aimees Audios. Since 2017, this cutting-edge technology allows her to analyze audio and video recordings to uncover valuable information. I'm joined here with the business owner. Thanks so much, Amy, for joining us here today.
It's nice to have you, or thanks for having me.
Let's start off a little bit about yourself. And you're formally educated at American Intercontinental University with a degree specializing in digital forensic investigations. You were a U.S. Army veteran who served as a military police, and you've really dedicated your life to helping others. Share with me a little bit why you chose this line of work and how you got started in this industry.
Well, when I first got started in this industry, it kind of just came upon me. I started realizing some noises or sounds inside of the phone recordings or particular information when I was doing audio. And when I looked deeper into the analysis, I could identify digital information about the network in the background from those electronic devices. The way that I realized it was like criminal entities that were hacking into that device, going into the speaker components, the microphone components, hacking into more of a calculator application, different types of services that are involved with it. And it was kind of intriguing. I started doing experiments with it, and I ended up doing 100 clients that were non-victims, and then 100 clients that thought they were victims, and I analyzed their communications. And the intriguing portion was the only people that had those communications in the background were actual victims of cyber crimes, hacking, DDoS attacks, and so forth. So it was kind of
you jumped right in. I mean, pretty bold move for you to be out there and testing things like that. I think that's fascinating. I mean, so let's educate the public with maybe the short version, if you will. What is subliminal acoustic fingerprinting, SAF? I mean, this is a forensic technique that you have developed. Kind of sum it up for me for the viewers there.
Subliminal acoustic fingerprinting identifies subcarrier frequencies. Every electronic device has hidden carrier waves that are built into their electronics. So I'm able to capture the infrasound and the subcarrier sound communications inside of that digital component. So that allows me to hack or listen in for the criminal's network onto it. So subliminal is the subcarrier portion. The fingerprinting is the identifying the network components on it. How I could ID the criminals, whether it's a name that was captured, or maybe a radio license number that was given, or a location that was mentioned. Maybe they ordered food, so I could get an address. Small things like that to fingerprint and identify the criminals.
That is interesting. I mean, this method, so basically it actually embeds hidden messages or information within audio signals. So is this below the threshold of conscious perception? Is this what we can't identify?
This is what you can't identify. This is anything underneath the average human hearing, from 20 hertz under, and any from the extremely low frequencies to the tremendously high frequencies. They're even working on 6G and 10G technology systems now, currently. So I've been able to even identify frequencies within their bandwidth that are within the 23,000 range, which our electromagnetic spectrum only comes within the 20,000 hertz range.
Wow. I mean, so are there multiple techniques used to encode into an audio carrier, like music or even into the spoken word? Is masking probably the most common, would you say?
Masking is very common. They use aux modulation systems to hide their communications, and a lot of times when they're using radio bands, they're hiding in between the white spaces. So what I mean is like a radio channel in your car, for instance. 101.5 or 89.3. Each station has a set channel that they are on, that they are broadcasting. Criminals can sit in between the white spaces of those channels so they don't interfere with the actual broadcast.
Very
and they
tricky.
Could do side
Very
channel
tricky.
attacks, yes.
So if the message is encoded, we need to basically decode it to reveal what it is. Is your technology a special decoder or a system that can really extract that information? Is that what happens?
And that's where the acoustics come into play, and a lot of it does have to be demodulated, and that's where the audio forensic portion comes into play as well, because you can demodulate the verbiage behind those musical tones and identify those tones separately, and then you can isolate those frequencies and get those communications out.
How do you explain to the layman out there how that technology actually works? I mean, does it take a long time to do, or is it done rather quickly? How does that work?
Well, the initial forensic process can be done rather quickly. It's the cleaning up process that takes a long time. Forensically, we have to do step-by-step processing.
Okay.
So we have to validate it for court purposes, which means that we can, I have to prove every step. And so somebody has to follow me, which means I have to notate and transcribe every step that I take to clean a specific statement up. So that's
detailed.
That can take time.
That initial part may be quick, but later on, no.
Right.
So who uses this type of encoding? I mean, I imagine governments use this. It sounds very dangerous in the wrong hands. Mm-hmm. Has the crime use increased?
The crime use has increased tenfold, especially these last couple of years and cycles that has been going on. Cyber crimes have increased by 600%, and that's just with the digital age and the new technology that's coming out. If you think about the cryptocurrency, deep fake videos, artificial intelligence, bot systems, all of that could even be identified inside the communications, phone echoing components, TDL camera systems. So identifying the sounds, the communications give out valuable information to those criminals. A lot of them are dark web. They're, I don't know how to describe this, murder rooms, torture chambers, hackers.
Yep.
A lot of them are even domestic terrorist groups that are being involved in here. So
it's something. So we're talking technology that we keep increasing and getting better at. That same technology can hurt us if we don't know or put it in the wrong hands. I mean, you have helped thousands of victims globally. Mm-hmm. Can you give an example, kind of some of these crimes against humanity that you've seen and been able to help with?
Well, one of the crimes that was taking place was a child human sex trafficking ring. I identified a truckload of over 3,000 children that were taking place out in the California area. So I was able to identify the groups and the entities that were involved with that. Some of them are out in the European side. I work in a lot of victims also with the use of directed energy weapons as well. Havana syndrome is what a lot of people call that. And so a lot with the criminal side, they have access to these weapons systems of mass destruction. So I was able to trace some of the Havana victims all the way back to a terrorist organization that was based out in Africa for my side.
I mean, most people out there today understand basic hacking, okay, via Bluetooth or maybe Wi-Fi, but are there multiple categories and many access points that the general population probably has no idea of?
Well, there's multiple access points everywhere.
Okay.
If your car has Wi-Fi, that's an access point. The Starbucks down the street, McDonald's, all these restaurants have different access points. Your cell phone has Wi-Fi, Bluetooth capabilities on it. It's how you configure and you secure your network is how you're able to block and stop the criminals from accessing it.
I mean, these are subwaves that can be used against people, obviously. This is where your decoding comes in. I mean, this is like forensic cleaning, if you will, or separating that audio, which takes time. I mean, can it even reveal the location sometimes?
It can. Identifying the frequencies and the different locations are a little bit hard. I've been working on signal tracing, but usually you have to have direct access in order to do that in real time. So I'm working on that right now, that component. I'm creating an application that will be able to do the communications in real time. Currently, right now, this is just regular audio video forensics.
Yep.
You send me a video, I have to analyze it. So
Can you
triangulating a location is kind of hard.
Can you
from an
sometimes
older
tell
file.
when it's coming from different locations?
Yes.
Within the audio, possibly?
You can. Key information, different information, if they're like, let's say, if they're on an ocean liner, or
Okay.
if they're on a boat, or if they're using an airplane. A lot of that you can triangulate and get a position out of if you know investigations. And that's where military police, when I was in the Army, came into service, because I've worked with law enforcement my whole entire life. I've dispatched, I've was part of the Explorer program. I trained with SWAT, the team out in Chicago. So I've worked in law enforcement, Border Patrol down in El Paso, Texas. So different
That
fields.
is something. I mean, that's pretty deep for most people to understand. How would an individual suspect that maybe they're a target to something like that, or maybe even a victim to something like that? Is there anything a person can look for as far as thinking, maybe, am I just losing my mind? Do I feel like somebody's,
Well, it could start off with something simple. Maybe you closed your door and you found your door unlocked. Or maybe you were driving and you got all four tires sliced on you. Usually people are victimized. A lot of my victims have worked for military and third-party contractors. One of my clients, Ann Baker, worked for the Department of Defense. Another client of mine did physical therapy for NASA. So a lot of my clients, another was an IBM programmer. So they do have those federal connections and military contract and third-party contractor.
Interesting. I mean, so who would you say is your target client that really benefits, or that you feel would be the best to serve, and how do they access your services? Does it begin with a consultation, and what takes place there?
I usually start off everybody with an audio consultation, because that will verify if you really are a victim or if you're not a victim, because those communications won't be in there. And usually I have the person join me into that audio consultation, and I go over that information with them inside of that recording, what information is there, and how they can move forward. I give them investigative advice, what to do, where we could go from there, if they need medical help or if they need to get a proper diagnosis. I have some contracts with doctors that will help at least do specific diagnosis, even like trauma victims for the trafficking side. So I try to help them out as much as I can. And what we're trying to do right now is a lot of them want to take legal action. So helping them gather the evidence, collect it, how to collect the evidence is the first step, and where to go from there.
Yeah, because obviously these transcripts that you're able to uncover, they can be used in court, they can be used in investigations, that type of thing. I mean, with many secrets being revealed in our government today, we all see this, it seems you would be a good fit in the health of our nation. What are your hopes kind of for your services in the future?
In the future, I definitely want to be working with some government intel. I want to be able to work with the FBI more closely on the more serious crimes like the directed energy weapons, the terrorists, and the trafficking units. That I do need law enforcement's assistance with, because even though I have law enforcement experience, I can't go in and arrest the bad guy. I can't get a warrant for them. So that is where our law enforcement can come in and help us out. And they could do a proper investigation with that information. I believe this will help a lot of government entities because even identifying frequencies with drones,
Yep.
I could identify their communications, their vector fields, and identify those exact frequencies that they're transmitting on, which can be connected to in real time. So I need signal intelligence for that.
Yeah, like I say, a lot of areas I think you could help out there for sure.
Right.
Amy, you are able to capture and listen to embedded communication and the secrets of a hidden criminal network. Helping victims worldwide and really protecting our children, is this rewarding work for you?
It is very rewarding. When I hear victims say that I've given them hope and that they're so thankful that I've helped their little girl or their little child, it really does mean a lot to me. And that's what this world needs right now, is more people helping out in order to stop these crimes from happening inside the future. And if something isn't done now, then it's only going to get worse further on.
Great story. Viewers, let's take a look at the bottom of the screen right there. What you're going to see is her website. On the website, you can learn more about this powerful technology. I mean, whether you have one file or many, she provides detailed insights that will really unravel the truth. I mean, you can join her in the fight so that our children have a safer and brighter future. Reach out today. That is Aimees Audios, because hearing is believing. This is Gary Atencio with CNTV, and if you don't know, now you know.